everyone, and a warm namaste from India. I hope you all are doing really good. I am Sneha Daragshetti, your host for the day and a corporate soft skill trainer and a certified situational leadership trainer. Welcomes you for today's session, Yoga, a Journey, a Destination. Before I introduce to our speaker for the day, let me give you a short introduction of TLR Now. TLR Now is a training, coaching, and mentoring company which brings about more than 80 plus expertise who brings about more than 900 man years of experience on the table. TLR Now believes in measurable, sustainable, and result oriented services, leveraging the technology to its fullest. It's a private limited company based out of in India and also has its chapters at Middle East, Sri Lanka, and Bhutan. Let's introduce the speaker for the day, that is Dr. Sandeep Dongre. Good evening, doctor.
Good evening, Sneha. Namaste.
So let me give you a short introduction about this speaker. Dr. Sandeep is an international yoga trainer and a naturopath. He's also a corporate trainer wherein he gives a lot of training at corporates in various fields. He's also having an experience of 20 plus years in the corporate field, wherein he's worked in 15 countries, including USA, UK, and Canada. He has also taught yoga in UK and in Thailand. He also treats chronic ailments through yoga and naturopath. He is the founder and the director of the Ashtanga Institute of Yoga and Naturopath. Last but not the least, he hails a Limca record and Vajra record for the longest and the fastest Kapalbhati. Dr. Sandeep, it's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you, Sneha. Thank you thank you, TLR, as well for inviting me here for the interview.
Thank you so much. So now that we are all in the current situation of pandemic, tell us, how does yoga play a role in the current situation, as we all know that COVID-19 affects the respiratory system. So can yoga help us, or does it have any role to play?
Right. I think that's a very good question for current situation. As you said, COVID-19 or the coronavirus, it attacks the respiratory system, and yoga has a tremendous use in improving your respiratory system, in strengthening your immune system. So if you look at different practices of asanas, pranayamas, and meditation, that is going to strengthen your respiratory system. So I have one practice or program where just within 30 minutes of yogic practices, and that too only breathing exercises, you can double your breath holding capacity. Now, what we mean by breath holding capacity is that shows in 30 minutes your strength of your lungs doubles up. So you can see how powerful this is. So if you do only pranayama as well and other yogic practices, you are going to strengthen your lungs like anything, and that also strengthens your immune system. So yes, it's a big use, very helpful for COVID-19 situation or any viral infections. And I'm just going to give few points from naturopathy perspective, very simple things that everybody can do at home. Very simple. Please drink hot water. It's hot, yeah, not even warm. Early morning, 2 glasses. Throughout the day if possible, or before you go to bed at night. Take steam at least 2 to 3 times a day. Or if you are suffering from cold and if you get a little bit of cough, etc., do not worry, do not get frightened. Throughout the day, drink hot water, take steams, put some turmeric in the milk and water, and drink that before you go to bed. So these are certain things, and I'm pretty sure this is one of the solutions for COVID-19 kind of situations, Sneha.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that tip. But tell us, what is yoga all about? Because if you see in the market, there is something known as spa yoga, there is hot yoga, Iyengar yoga. So we as individuals obviously get confused as to what is this all about. So if you can just tell us what is yoga, it will be really good.
Right. So, yeah, what is yoga? That's a very good question. And then we'll also look at types of yoga. Now, see, yoga is very old. It's 5,000 to 6,000 years old minimum. Some people do say it is almost 10,000 years old. Now, yoga and music are the greatest gifts given by India to this universe, to this world. Now, yoga, the word yoga is derived from a Sanskrit root called as yuja. Now, user means to join, to combine, to yoke. So, what are we joining here? So, very simple thing in today's world, you're just connecting body with mind. Yeah. And once that body mind connection happens, then you're connecting that mind with your spirit or Atman. And then you can go one step further and you can connect that Atman with the Paramatman, the supernatural power. Now, let's not get too much deep into that, but in today's time, I think yoga is all about connecting body and mind. So, it is about connecting your heart with your head and head with your hands. So, nowadays, what's happening is that your heart thinks something, your head is suggesting something, and your actions or your hands do something else. Now, yoga in simple terms, when your head, heart, and hands are in complete sync, they do same thing, they think same thing, then that's yoga. It's a very simple definition. Now, there are many definitions, and obviously, I'm not getting into the technical definitions, but the sage Patanjali has defined yoga as yogas chitta vritti nirodha. That is controlling your thoughts, controlling various vrittis that are coming in your mind. And we all know controlling vrittis is one of the most difficult things. And that's why probably he said that yoga is chitta vritti nirodha. So, again, so it's all about connecting body and mind, going. See, everybody is now thinking about all the external activities. Yeah, nobody has time to go inside. Nobody has time to look inwards. So it is a journey from outside to inside, from outward to inward. So connect your mind and connect your body. So that's a simple definition. And coming to types, there are many types, as you rightly said. There is something called as Iyengar Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Power Yoga. There are different terms that you hear. But yoga, basically, there are two types. Okay, Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga. Now, what is Hatha Yoga? Hatha Yoga is a yoga where you do a lot of physical practices. The asana and pranayama, various type of physical posture is asanas, breathing practices is pranayamas, that you can define as Hatha Yoga. Now, what is Raja Yoga? Raja Yoga, or in other words, that is also called as Ashtanga Yoga, is that internal yoga. The three parts of Raja Yoga, the Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, that's the internal yoga. Concentration, meditation, and the Samadhi or transcendental stage. So, it is a journey again from Hatha Yoga to Raja Yoga, external practices to internal practices. Okay. Now, then there are different terms really in market. So, Hatha Yoga has different types, like someone called Iyengar, because it is defined by modern sage called Iyengara in Pune. Then there is hot yoga. There are different types, but it is all really Hatha Yoga. And the journey obviously has to be Hatha Yoga to Raja Yoga.
Thank you so much for giving us the entire perspective of what yoga is and what the different types are. So, just to our viewers, we have Dr. Sandeep with us for the next 1 hour or so. So, please feel free to post all your questions in the comment section, and I'm sure Doctor will be really happy to answer all that for you.
Right.
Doctor, going forward, that brought me to the next question, which is about what is the concept of health? When can we call an individual healthy?
Right. So let's look at two definitions. Now, the World Health Organization. Now, I think everybody knows about that because of COVID. What do they define? They define it as physical, mental, and social well-being, which means whenever somebody is physically fit, mentally fit, as well as socially fit, then that person is healthy. Now, normally we say that there are, bodybuilders, or they have good body, their physical fitness is good, but are they mentally fit? We don't know. If they are not mentally fit, they are not healthy, they are unhealthy. So it's a simple definition by. And again, some people are physically healthy, mentally healthy, but in society they do not mix up. They shy, or there is some problem. Again, that's a kind of mental problem, that they're not social well-being, or they don't have that social health. So that part has also been there. So when somebody has all these three, then according to you, that person is healthy. Now let's look at the definition by Ayurveda. What Ayurveda says: samadoshaha, samagnischa, samadhatuhu, malakriya, prasanna, atma, indriya, manaha, iti swasya iti abhidhiyate, which means samadoshaha. Now there are, according to Ayurveda, our body is made up of three components: vata, pitta, kapha, and these are the doshas. These are the three doshas that is called as technically. So if they are balanced, you are healthy. If you are more of vata or more of pitta, in English acidity, then there is imbalance, and then people fall sick. You get diseases. Okay, so samadoshaha, samagnischa. Now, what is sama agni? When the digestive fire is agni in Ayurveda. So you have a good digestive fire. You are hungry at particular time, and you are having food at time, proper sattvic food. Then you are healthy. Samadhatuhu. Now there are 7 dhatus in our body: rasa, rakta, meda, mansa, etc. So there are asthi and majja and shukra. Those are 7 dhatus. Let's not get into details. But again, when they are balanced, you are healthy. And one very simple but most important thing: malakriya. So when your excretory system is also going on well, then you're healthy. Now we know that if excretory system, there are gases, constipation, not having that motion every day, that is what says that you're diseased, and that is where ailments start. So when all these things are there, you're healthy. So the two definitions will clearly tell. So now viewers can decide where they lack, and then where they want to do that improvement, and where how yoga and Ayurveda can, naturopathy can help them to be healthy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, doctor. So going forward in the current scenario, I mean, if you see, people are always busy. Okay, we always do not find time to do, maybe a 30 minutes or 45 minutes in the morning to get up and, and dedicate that time for doing yoga. So what could motivate them, or, us to take up yoga?
Right. And this is a this
And
is
why
a
is it important?
this is a common, reason given by a lot of students and a you can say, customers or patients that come to us for therapies, that hey, we don't get time. Now, time is all about discipline, priority. Now, I'll tell you one simple thing. Akshay Kumar, the Bollywood star, how busy he must be.
Hmm.
There's a lot of movies every day, and how busy he must be. But if he can find 2 hours of time for his physical health, to do yoga, exercise, hey, why can't we? Why can't you? So make it a priority. See, when a person is healthy, they always say, no, I don't have time. But one
Hmm.
fine day, something happens, there's some heart pain, then he or she goes to doctor, and doctor says, hey, nothing doing, you have to do that 1 hour of walking. And suddenly that person has that 1 hour of time to do everyday walking. Now what happened? Because health became priority, right? Because there's a
Hmm.
heart problem, and now, hey, that's my priority. If I don't walk, I may have some bigger trouble. I may die as well. So why not make it priority? Find out 30 minutes from your uh, time, 24 hours. Give 30 minutes to yourself. So you have to find that time, do some time management, and then make yoga or make your health a priority. And obviously, then you will find time to do these yogic practices. So discipline and priority, yeah, that's the answer, really.
So it's like, rather do not wait for the fear of death to grab you and then you start doing, but as you said, be disciplined in that.
Right, absolutely. And now, because of that fear, there's so much
Hmm.
news on the television, and they show count and all that. I have also observed that a lot of people have suddenly started doing a lot of exercises and yoga and all that, which is good news. So make a priority, and then it happens.
Just because you mentioned about exercise, so tell us the difference between a yoga and an exercise.
Right. Okay. That's a very good question. And at the beginning, only let me tell you that I'll come to the differences. But yoga is the only thing that anybody can do. What we say is yogi,
Mm-hmm.
bhogi, rogi. Anybody can do yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Yogi is like, people who are into yoga, or those who are yogis, or into spirituality, you can say. Bhogi is the common man. So even a common person, common man, just a daily layman can do yoga. Rogi, a diseased person. So remember, Rogi cannot do exercises, right? He can certainly do yoga. So coming to the differences, there are quite a few differences. Very first thing, the key difference is that yoga has to be done with awareness. Whatever yogic practices do, you have to be completely mindfulness and awareness. That's the key. In exercises like you do cycling, swimming, gymming, whatever exercise you consider, walking is not exercise. That's just a activity that everybody has to any which ways do. Yoga and exercises are the additional things that one has to do. But so any exercise that you do, not necessarily that you have to have awareness. You can put a large, music or sound and keep on doing your exercise. In yoga, you have to have awareness, because yoga is all about those hormonal changes happening in your body. So how yoga treats you, when you do your asana practices, when you do your pranayama, when you do your meditation with closed eyes, those endocrine glands which are connected to the chakras in yoga, or the hormones, the chemicals that completely control your body. So yoga controls those. And with those right emotions and the right activities that you do in asana, the pressing of particular gland or particular organ, right activities, yoga can prevent but cure as well. So that is one difference. Now, very simple differences. Whenever you have to do exercise, you need some machinery, you need money, you need some instruments. For yoga, you don't need that. You just have to have a simple mat and yourself, and you do your yogic practices. Um, Once you do exercise, people feel tired. You do 1 hour of gymming or 1 hour of swimming, and you're very exhausted, tired. Because what happens is that when you do such heavy exercises, there is something called as lactic acid that's released in your bloodstream, and that makes you tired. In yoga, it's exactly opposite way. You are rejuvenated. You feel energetic. You feel fresh. That's the key difference, right? You don't feel tired. Now, in exercises, you are working on particular muscle group, so the blood flow is only to those muscle groups. Whereas in yoga, you are doing the whole body exercise, so the blood flow is everywhere. And the you will see that most of the people who do this, let's say gymming, it's for getting a good health, good good physical health. But in yoga, you're not only getting physical health, you get mental health, you get your emotional health, and you get spiritual health as well. So there are a lot of those things that yoga will give you. So these are some of the key differences in exercise. There is competition. In yoga, there is no competition. The competition is with you, right? It's only with you. Today you can bend like, the 2 inches, and tomorrow 3 inches, 4 inches. But again, there's no competition. It's just what you can do. So these are some of the key differences that I thought I'll share with everybody.
Thank you so much. And I hope certainly for doing yoga, I don't have to search for a mountain or sit under the tree and do it.
Wow, that's a very good point that you said. Many people, right? In fact, that's a misconception about yoga. That to do yoga, I have to go somewhere into Himalayas and then do my meditation.
Mm.
Hey, no, just sit in one corner of your room, or close that door of your bedroom for 15 minutes and do your meditation. Close your eyes and imagine you are in the Himalayan cave, And nowadays you're getting so much, nice meditation musics and all that on the internet. Just start some music, very light, and do your meditation, and you're into your own cave.
That's wonderful. Now that's making me a little curious to know about the record that you've held. That is for the longest and the fastest Kapalbhati. So can you tell us more about the record that you had and how it happened? And for how long you've been doing yoga? I mean, you had a corporate experience of 20 plus years. So how did that transition happen? What provoked you to dedicate your life for yoga now?
Right, right. So I was also into corporate, and as most of the people today love the field of IT, and I worked in almost 15 plus countries. But somewhere, that lifestyle, that rat race, I used to have tremendous headaches. So I used to get up at
Mhm.
early morning, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock with tremendous headache. And then I was like, hey, what is this going on? So I went to a lot of specialists, a lot of MDs, and did my MRI as well. And there was no solution coming. So they were all giving different kinds of tablets and do this test and that test. And so finally I said, hey, I have to take control of the situation now. So I just joined one small yoga class. And somewhere during that journey of 3, 4 months in the yoga class, I realized that the headache was gone. It was like magic.
Wonderful.
And
Okay.
at each it
Yes.
just vanished. And I said, hey, this is magical. I have to, if this is helping me, I have to see like how it can help others. And in back of my mind, I always wanted to do something for, these, for others, for society. And I thought, hey, yoga is my true calling. So I did my master's in yoga, then I did my doctorate in yoga, and then started doing a lot of practice, a lot of yogic practices. So a lot of hatha yoga, yogic practices, and some of the tantric practices also that I do now. That's a little bit technical in yoga terms, but I do
Hmm.
that as well. And then while I was in UK, I used to have quite some time, and I was practicing almost pranayama for almost 1.5, 2 years. And I decided, hey, it's time to do something. Unless you do some kind of a record, people don't notice you. Then whatever you tell, they're like, okay, he's just one of the others telling something. So I thought, let me do this. So I did
Mhm.
the Kapalabhati, that's the
Hmm.
forehead shining, that is called as that pranayama, or it is also called as cleansing process. In the fastest, I did roughly 3,000 strokes in 20 minutes non-stop.
Wow. Hmm.
Now, here's a caution. Just by doing 10 or 20 strokes, some of my students say that, sir, I'm feeling, giddiness. So
Hmm.
be very
Hmm.
careful. Don't try 3,000 strokes. It takes time. It takes years of practice. And the second one
Absolutely.
was the longest pranayama, 2 hour 22 minutes, which is almost 2 hour, 2.5 hours of Kapalabhati, non-stop Kapalabhati. So that was the second my record, Limca book of records. And again, as I said, I did this, just to tell people that, hey, you can do this. This is so powerful, this is so strong, and this is so useful to everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and as to how this the journey happened for you. And I'm sure my viewers, there's a disclaimer that it needs a lot of practice. So do not just go and start having those strokes of breathing. Thank you, viewers, for also posting a lot of questions over here. So I would like to thank Sohil and Rama Venkat Raman for posting your questions, which will take up in some while. Going forward, everyone, doctor, in the current situation is stressed. Right from the young people, the young generation, to the elder ones. So, what can or how can yoga help
I
us
I think
to
I
bring
lost
that
you
stress?
somewhere, Sneha. Could you please repeat the question?
Yes, I will. Can you hear me now? Are you able to hear us?
Could you please repeat the question, Sneha? I just lost you somewhere there.
No problem. So we have you back now. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Thank you. So I was just asking that, in the current scenario, everyone is so stressed, right from the young people to the elder ones. So, how can yoga help us to bring down the stress level?
Very nice, very nice. So let's look at what is stress in the first place. So I have a very simple formula. S is equal to P greater than R, means stress is equal to P or pressure or expectations greater than R is equal to resources. So when your
That's interesting,
expectation,
actually.
yes.
Some new
So when your
equation.
right. So when
Yeah.
expectations are higher than the available resources, obviously you're going to land up in stress. If you have a salary of 10,000 rupees, but your spent is 30,000 a month, that additional 20,000 is giving you stress. So that is in simple terms what is stress. Now, understand that stress is also body's reaction to some situation like this, that is called as fight or flight response. So right from when we were cavemen, this is the response that body has: fight or flight, which means whenever you're in a stressful condition, and I'll give you one very simple example. You're going through a jungle, you're alone obviously, and suddenly there is a tiger in front of you. What happens?
We get panic. A lot of
Yeah,
panic, stress, and it's a panic.
it's a panic. So your heartbeat increases, you start sweating. In fact, a lot of things happen internally, your digestive system, the body starts the digestion immediately, because all the blood it has to give to your extremities, your arms and your legs, because you have to fight with the tiger or you have to flight, you have to run away. So body is telling you, hey, I have given you resources. The heart is doing the pumping, it's giving blood to your brain, your hands and your legs, so that you can fight or flight. Okay. Now, obviously, the tiger looks at you for 5 minutes. Okay, now your senses are at the highest alert at this time. So just like there is a red alert in the country, if something happens, there is a red alert, and all your senses, you can hear the slightest sound, you can see the slightest movement. So your body is put on high alert. Okay, so those are some chemical changes as well happening in the body. Now what happens is that the tiger looks at you and thinks like, "Hey, poor chap, I don't want to eat you now," and the tiger just walks away, and also some helps come to you. Now what happens? You become normal, right? It takes some time, but you become normal. Your heartbeat goes down, everything, and you calm down, cool down. Now technically, this is called as parasympathetic system. I'll be referring that again and again. So parasympathetic system is what? That those are some chemicals, hormones released so that you calm down, cool down. And there is sympathetic system that happens when you see the tiger. Now, this tiger situation is coming into everyone's life multiple times a day. So everybody is stressed so many times, multiple times in a day. You see a tiger, your wife takes your WhatsApp in your hand and there's a tiger, right? So your
I'm
boss
sure it's there for the most of the people, viewers over here.
So your boss stands in front of you and there's a tiger. And then all those body actions are happening in your body, which should not happen. They should happen like once in a week or once a month. But when that starts happening again and again, your body gets completely confused. That is when you are putting your body on red alert so many times, it starts failing. Okay, that is when then you start getting blood pressure, heart problem, stress related issue, and all that. So for this stress, now for example, children, what is the stress? Exams, teachers, parents, that is their stress. They're seeing the tiger, you're showing them tiger every half an hour. You have to stop that. That is what is happening with everybody. So try to keep away that tiger, then you will keep away your stress. Okay, so that's a simple definition of stress and what you can do to keep that tiger away. So a lot of things. First of all, yogic practices. The difference between yoga and exercise, one of the key differences is exercise activate sympathetic system. It energizes, it increases your blood pressure, it increases your heartbeats, sympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic system is yoga. When you're doing yoga, meditation, you're doing calm down, your parasympathetic system. So what that does is that it de-stresses, it removes your anxiety, and that is how, or that is why yoga helps in reducing your stress. Now, that's about yoga, like doing yogic practices. What are some of the other things at physical level? As I said, you do some exercise, you do yoga. Mental aspects, do meditation. There are certain attitudes that, or the affirmations that you should do with you. The positive attitudes, positive affirmations. I am healthy. That's a positive affirmation. I'm healthy, I'm happy. Whereas if you say, oh, I may be sick, I don't want to be sick, the universal doesn't understand don't or not. It just hears the word sick and you fall sick. So do positive affirmations. I'm healthy, I'm happy, you know,
Hmm.
I'm bodybuilder, something like that. So that's on affirmation side. In yoga, there are quite many other things, like, nishkama karma. Today's world, people don't believe in that nishkama karma. Nishkama karma is doing karma, doing work without expectations of fruits, and that's
Hmm.
very difficult. Everybody wants fruits of whatever they do, right? So
Absolutely.
nishkama
That's the
karma.
biggest challenge, rather, In fact, even before we do anything, we already have a list of expectations with us.
Right, right. And so when you do something without expectations, you will not have stress. Right? Sakshi
Absolutely.
bhav. Sakshi bhav is some attitude where you're an observer. Whatever is happening, you're just observing. Okay. So
Mhm.
we all know that, hey, this physical body is not you, right? The Atma or soul keeps on changing the body. Once you realize, once you get that realization, that is called as Vivek Khyati, or called as knowledge, the real knowledge. Once you get that real knowledge, you will start observing everything with Sakshi Bhav, right? Because this body itself is not yours. It's
Mhm.
the Atma which is going to leave the body any time, any day. Then you kind of start disconnecting and start stopping taking stress of every small thing. So start doing some of these things, and at physical mental level, obviously yoga, that will keep you away from stress.
Thank you so much for letting us know how do we handle our stress. Before I go to the next question that we have, Akshita, the question that you've asked, give us few minutes because I'll be addressing the same. Viewers, please feel free to share whatever questions or queries that you have, and I'm sure Doctor would be really happy to answer all your queries. Going forward, Doctor, now we've handled or we know how to handle our stress. The second biggest challenge that we have, rather, I would say, is how do we manage our anger or frustration? Is there any a calm posture that we can take up to control our anger?
Right, and you know what, this is a bit difficult to not difficult to answer, difficult to practice, because anger is something, so it needs a lot of practice, a lot of mind control. But there is a proverb:
Mhm.
one moment of silence can save you from 100 hours of um,
The
what you say,
devastation, I think.
sorry.
One moment of silence would save another 100, hours of, the calmness or the peace that you would otherwise have.
Right, right. So, or the 100 hours of disturbance, mental disturbance. If you stay calm for a moment in
Mhm.
that situation when you are angry, that is
Mhm.
going to save your 100 hours of that disturbance. Because hey, why I shouted at that moment? Why didn't I stay calm? So just stay calm at that particular moment. Do not react. Try to
Mhm.
respond. And one very simple solution for this is do counting from 1 to 20. So somebody says something, you just do counting in your mind and don't reply till you count 20. So what happens is that maybe within that count of 20, you are going to lose that quick reaction that you are going to do, and maybe you will respond properly. One more
But
point.
yeah,
Yeah,
doctor, before you take it ahead, the major problem that we all face is when we are angry, the only thing that we know is we have to blast it out. That's it. I mean, we have to blast it out. So,
exactly.
what can be done before the blasting happens and the temperament that comes down?
Right.
Some tips
So
on that.
again, yeah, so as I said, that this is one of the very difficult things. It needs a lot of mind control. Obviously, with your age and experience, people calm down, and somebody who is angry young man in his 20s or 30s becomes a very calm person when he's into 50s, right? So with experience also this happens. But there are two things that the young people or whoever gets very very upset or angry. Two or three things they can do is: one, do that counting that I said. Don't reply till you count up to very slow 20. Two, take deep breaths. Okay. See, whenever you're upset, when you're angry, you're doing chest breathing, shallow breathing, very fast breathing. Don't to stop that, to counter that, do long exhalations. Okay. So inhale and so do that. And the third thing is that whatever you are going to react, just think how badly that is going to impact on the person that you are reacting with. So what's going to happen at that moment? You say something, but what is that going to result into for your years of relationship? So just think and then respond, not react.
Absolutely. Thank you so much on that. So tell us, what are the benefits of yoga? And when one starts practicing it, how can he or she believe that, oh, I am doing perfectly fine? Because as you had mentioned, when we do an exercise, I can easily see the difference in me because it's external. I can have the before and after effect and, make
Right.
that comparison and understand. But yoga, as you said, is something internal. So how would I
Right.
get to know that, okay, I am doing it and it's going really nice? So what are the benefits as well?
Right. See, with exercise, with your gymming, you have got only one benefit. That's physical health or physic. With yoga, as I mentioned, you have multiple types of benefits: physical, mental, spiritual, intellectual, emotional. Now, what is that you can immediately see? Physical benefit. Hey, if you do yoga properly every day, you will see the result within 1 week, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We have even patients, some knee pain or ankle pain or PCOD, etc. They get results quickly because those are certain things that you can get or feel through physical practices. Obviously, they do little bit of pranayama meditation as well, but you get those results quickly within a week, within 2 weeks. Now, even on physical level, those people will not get benefits who are putting television, putting loud music on, and then just doing asana. Then that asanas or physical postures is nothing but exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So you will get only those benefits of exercise. But do proper yoga with awareness, mindfulness, and you get physical benefits immediately. Mental benefits. Now, yeah, mental benefits will take some time. Other level, whatever benefits I said, mental, emotional, spiritual will take longer time, but mental, emotional, intellectual, this take, for some people they take only 1 week, for some people that may take 1 year, for some people they may take 10 years. Because if you do not have faith in whatever you are doing, or you're not doing it right way, then you will not get those benefits. But I'm pretty sure physical benefits you get immediately if you do with awareness. Mental benefits, lot of people do mental benefits when they do yoga with right teacher. Remember, in yoga, one of the key part is also counseling. So whenever I'm teaching, I'm not only teaching them how to do physical postures, I have to counsel them. I have to tell them the difference in mind and body and how you should connect those two. All those points that I mentioned before, when you start telling them slowly, that makes impact on their mind and they start disconnecting. And once you start disconnecting, that is where your yoga starts. Because yoga, even though it is joining the body and mind, as a matter of fact, when you go inside, technically it is viyoga. Okay, it is disconnecting the purusha and prakriti, or in simple words, it is disconnecting the maya and atma. Okay, and as soon as you get that disconnection, the yoga happens. Okay, so that is about benefits. So some people will get that immediately, some may take some time, but physical benefits, yes, you get to see within days, within weeks.
Okay. So that's because even I have come across a lot of individuals who come and say that, you know what, I have been practicing yoga for a while, but I can't see the difference yet. So probably these could be the reasons why the results is not so seen clearly.
Right, right. So the simple solution is anybody who is doing yogic practices, simple physical postures as well, do with your awareness. Again, I'll explain that point. In yoga, what happens is that you're really controlling emotions. And what are these emotions? Emotions drive your hormones. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
your body is driven by emotions. All the hormonal secretions, the chemical secretions happen through emotions. And yoga is what controls your emotions. So once you control your emotions, all that internal cleansing is also happening, and hormones are being balanced, and that is how you get cured, and that is how you prevent a lot of diseases from coming in. So you're doing yoga rightly if you get physical benefits immediately within, if not 1 or 2 weeks, at least in 3 or 4 weeks you should see some benefit. Whereas if you are getting something like headache, you're getting injured, then you're doing something wrong. So
Okay.
go to your teacher, talk to him or her, and explain your problem. Hey, why I am not getting benefit? Another thing is that if you are doing some practice by watching television with loud music or something, again you may not get that result. Okay, so practice with awareness. That's the solution, and that will give you result guaranteed.
Thank you so much. I'll take up a viewer's question here, which
Yeah.
Akshita had asked, saying that, what are the do's and don'ts of the yoga? What precaution that we have to take at the beginner level? So if you can share something on that, it will be
Yes.
really great.
Yes. I'll thank you for that question. Do's and don'ts. Very simple do's to start with: your dress code. Wear loose clothes. Do not
Mm-hmm.
do postures or do not sit for pranayama or meditation with a jeans trouser, which is very tight, and that's not a good practice. Wear loose clothing. Try to do yogic practices in the morning. Now, that's not a rule. If you don't have time in the morning, do it in the evening. But you should be empty stomach, empty bowel, empty bladder always when you are doing yogic practices. So even in the morning, don't do yogic practices when your bowel is not empty. In fact, there is a process in yoga. Those people whose bowel doesn't get clear, who don't get motions early morning, or who are not able to do motions for 2 or 3 days, there is a yogic kriya. Once you do that kriya, you have to drink water and do some physical asanas. The bowel movement becomes clean. So, coming back to the point, do not do practices when your bowel is not clean. So, do it either in the morning or in the evening. The place where you do yoga should be clean. Put some incense stick, create that environment, then do practices. In don't, again, which I already said, don't put on big music or don't start television program and do practices. Now some of the program, that soap serial is going on and they're doing the asanas. Now remember, there are two things you're doing. You're doing the ahar through your eyes. You're getting some information from the television through your eyes, that is being processed in your brain, and your brain, the hypothalamus, the part of brain, is releasing hormones according to what you are seeing here, not according to what you are practicing. So Rather than getting benefits, what you are getting is your emotions are driven by that TV serial, not by the yoga. It's useless. Don't do that. You're just doing physical exercise, nothing more. So that's a big don't. No TV serials going on. Something that is driving your emotions and you know creating some wrong hormonal secretion. So don't do that. Um, Before doing yoga, it should be empty stomach. So if you're having a meal, light meal, there should be a distance of gap of 3 to 4 hours. If it's a heavy meal, then 4 to 5 hours of gap should be there. Basically, your stomach should be empty because after you eat, everything goes into stomach, gets digested there first, and this then goes into abdomen. So that stomach time you have to give for that the full has to go into your abdomen and then you start doing practices. So these are some of the do's and don't compete with anybody. So
Yes,
if you are in a group class in yoga, you see that someone near you bending more than you and you try more, don't do that. You'll harm yourself, you may get an injury. Everybody has different strength. That person is doing good forward bending, hey, maybe you will do good backward bending. Don't compete. Okay, and it takes time. Everybody has his own time to get adjusted and do particular asana or to do pranayama properly. So do not compete, do with awareness. So these are some of the important do's and don'ts.
thank you so much. And that was a really a wonderful message that we're sending across, that please do not get into a competitive mode. As you rightly said, when we are in a yoga class with another 10 or 15 of us, we try to, check with others ki, that person can bend so much and I still can't. So I push
Right.
myself so that even I get to at par with that individual. So beautiful
Right.
message. Thank you so much. Now, because you were talking about the hormones and you also mentioned about the food we are eating, I would like to address the question also put up by Sohil, where he is asking that what is the importance of a lifestyle and food habits? How does that impact?
Right. Lifestyle and food habits. Um, Before I get into details, I can tell you one thing. Most of the diseases today, most of them are because of only two things: wrong diet, wrong lifestyle. Just change one very simple. Follow the nature. In lifestyle, I'll say only one change: follow the nature. Get up when sun rises, go to bed when sun goes down. Obviously, that's not practically possible. But if the sun goes down at 7 o'clock, try to go to bed at least 9:30. Food habits: have food when sun rises. Have food before sun goes down. So have heavy breakfast, have medium size meal, and have light size of dinner. That will keep you healthy. So these are some lifestyle changes. Obviously, avoid stress. That's one key thing. Coming to diet, in yoga it is said that yatha anna tatha manaha, means the type of food you eat, that is how your mind is going to be. You eat sattvic food, good food, your mind is going to be sattvic. You eat tamasic food, your mind is going to be tamasic. You eat stale food, your mind is going to be stale.
Mhm.
It's that simple. And anna is called as purna brahma, means the food anna is the Purna Brahma. It has got everything in it. The whole Brahman, the universe, is food. Now, what everybody has to try is try to have sattvic food. Yeah. Now, what is this sattvic food? Basically, vegetarian food, fresh food. So don't eat stale food. Don't eat food that you are hitting again and again. Something that was prepared 2 days back, that's not good. Have a lot of fruits, have a lot of vegetables. That is all sattvic food. That will make your mind as well sattvic. Now, I have seen people who eat medicines, 25, 30 tablets every day.
Mhm. Yes.
No, eat your food well so that that becomes your medicine and you can throw away all those 25, 30 tablets that you are taking every day. So when you start looking at your diet properly, diet is not fasting. Diet is the food habits, good food habits. So few quick tips: have fruits every day,
Mm-hmm.
have vegetables every day, have salads, sprouts every day. In fact, all three meals, have all these things, and that's going to make you healthy. Think, instead of medicines, you're eating those things to make you healthy, and that will throw away all your medicines. When you are eating, one good habit will be not to put the television on, or not to put something on which will emotionally disturb you, because then whatever you are eating, with those emotions, again I'm saying, those hormones, those chemicals are released, and your stomach reacts. Do you know that when you are angry, your stomach becomes red?
Mm-hmm.
It impacts the whole body. So diet as a medicine. Okay, so uh, chew your food, everything that you eat, when you put in mouth, chew it 32 times. In yoga, there are two things. One is called as mitahara, and
Mm-hmm.
other is sattvic food. So I already spoke about sattvic food. I'll talk about mitahar. This is an excellent tool to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
What yoga says is, divide your tummy in four parts. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so have food which will fill only two parts. Put the third part for water, and put the fourth part for air. Okay, this is called as mitahara, and yoga says follow mitahara whenever you eat. Now, what is happening actually? What are people doing? Instead of filling those two parts, they are putting four portions, and they are putting one extra. Huh? They are eating 125% of their stomach size. So there is no space for water to move. There is no space for air to move, and then that is how you invite diseases.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right.
So,
Sneha, one question. If I'm not clear, should I move to my mobile?
no, all good.
All
We
good.
can
Okay.
still
Okay.
see, yeah, no issues.
Fine.
So
Fine. Okay.
thank you so much for, throwing us a light on how the food and lifestyle affects, because all this while we just thought, I mean, yoga is all about just breathe in, breathe out. And if that is in control, it's perfect. But now we got to know the entire perspective of everything is related and it affects and why is it important. So thank you
Right.
for giving us a clear perspective on that. I have another question from an audience by Prathamesh, which is also my personal question, wherein they're asking that we are a very restless person. Okay, there is less of concentration. Whatever we do, we always have less concentration, or we always want to do multitasking. So how can yoga help me be focused at one task?
Right. Right. Good. Good. So there are a couple of practices in yoga that will improve concentration, the focus, as well as memory. So starting with physical postures or asanas, do the balancing asanas. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
Tadasana, Vrikshasana. Now, what happens is whenever you're doing that balancing, let's say I'm just doing simple Tadasana, standing posture like this, what your brain is doing is your brain is making sure it is completely concentrating on that asana. You can't get some other thought, because if you close your eyes and you think something else, you may fall down. The Vrikshasana, you're standing on one leg. So concentration is only on one thing, one thing, one thing. So that is how you are training your brain, your thought process, to focus, to concentrate on one thing. There is another process called as Trataka. So Tratak is where you put a flame in front of you like this, at a distance of 2 feet. Put that flame and make a switch of lights in the darkness. Just look at that flame, concentrate and look only at that flame. That is called as Trataka. That will not only sharpen your eyesight, that will sharpen your memory, improve your focus, improve your concentration. Only thing that you have to do in that is that when you are looking at flame, just think about that flame, be aware only of that flame.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime that I get different thought in my mind, you're not struggling, you're not fighting with that thought, just push it away by looking at the flame again. You're doing only one thing, looking at the flame, looking at the flame. Yeah. So you're concentrating only on that flame. And the third thing is meditation. Now, uh, actually, you will be surprised to hear that all the asanas, all the pranayamas, you are supposed to do with closed eyes. Once you learn all asanas, once you master asana pranayama, all these practices are supposed to be done with closed eyes. So obviously all the advanced students can do this. uh, Newcomers who are just learning, I don't recommend that they start doing asanas at least with closed eyes immediately, unless you master. But pranayama, start to do with closed eyes, be aware what's happening inside your body, and that is how you focus, that is how you concentrate. Getting into meditation. Meditation, in the beginning, I said there are three kind of steps or stages: dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Now, what is dharana? The basic step: concentration. Dhyana is meditation, and samadhi is the transcendental stage. So, in meditation, first step is concentration. So, what is that concentration? You are getting hundreds, thousands of thoughts in a minute in your mind. So getting from hundreds to one is concentration. So concentrate on only on one thing. Let's say you're doing meditation and you're concentrating on some photograph of your loving God or someone you love. So when you concentrate only on that thing for a minute, you have achieved concentration without getting any other thought in your mind. So this is how you program. This is how you practice. And when that uh, concentration remains for a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, you're slowly getting into meditation. And then when you're able to do that meditation very nicely, then slowly we'll get into the trance or transcendental samadhi stage. So these are some of the tools: asanas, pranayamas with closed eyes, trataka, and meditation. One simple technique in meditation is to concentrate only on your breath, the breath going in, breath going out. You will get thoughts, don't fight, bring your awareness on your breath. Simple trick, simple idea, and that teaches you how to focus, how to concentrate.
Thank you so much for that wonderful tip. I'm sure it's going to help a lot of us. Now, in the current scenario, maybe after a few weeks or months, we all are going to hit the office. And
Right,
when it comes to office, so there are meetings lined up, and there's a lot of work stress also that happens in the office.
right.
So can I actually do yoga, then to bring my stress level down or to control my anger then in the office? Is it actually possible to do yoga at office?
Very nice question, I think, and very useful. You'll be surprised. Half of the trainings currently we are doing are all for these corporates. So we do something called as chair yoga or something called as desk yoga. So what is this? You are seated on the chair. You don't get time to get up. Now, obviously, one of the solution that I always recommend is get up from your chair at least every 1 hour. Do a small 1 minute walk, come back and sit in the chair once again. So this chair yoga or desk yoga is some of the yogic exercises, including asanas, something like simple twisting, bending down. Quite a few of those are there, and all the viewers can find those on internet as well. You will see a lot of desk yoga, chair yoga photographs that you can start doing at your office. So that is one thing. There is something called as 1 minute meditation. Now, don't do asanas particularly when you're traveling, because if you're in a bus or whatever taxi or auto, it's just going up and down and it may catch a muscle or something. So don't try that. I'll tell you what to do when. But chair yoga, desk yoga, do at your office. Pranayama, yes. Deep breathing, elongated breaths, you can always do anytime. But do pranayama or deep breaths only when you are not in a polluted air. It's a very, very important thing. Do not do that when you are in an auto. Don't do pranayama. Don't do deep breathings. You will be hurting yourself.
Absolutely.
Meditation, you can certainly do. Nowadays, everybody has mobile phones. There are a lot of apps. Put your earphones in. put some meditation music, close your eyes, concentrate on your breath, and just do 1 minute meditation. So what you are going to do is basically just concentrate on your breath and throw all the clutter away. That's called 1 minute meditation. From 1 minute, go to 5 minutes, go to 2, 3, 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, then half an hour. So you'll be surprised that with that 1 minute meditation, which you can do even in the meeting, there's a lot of clutter going on. Just close your eyes, concentrate on your breath only 1 minute. You'll feel fresh. Your stress, you'll feel de-stress. A lot of stress will go away. Um, Meditation in your office, if there is a corner room or there is a space where you can go and sit for 10 minutes, do
Mm-hmm.
that. And this 1 minute meditation you can do anytime. So these are certain things you can do in your office or when you are traveling.
Hmm. Thank you so much for throwing us, giving us some handy tips that we can actually go and perform while we are going to work at our office desk. We would love, to continue with this conversation going ahead. But before I let you go, just a last question, or rather, is there any takeaway for our audiences from this session of yours?
Yes. So one very simple takeaway. I would say do yoga daily. What is that daily? DAILY.
Mm-hmm.
So daily, D, diet.
Okay.
Have a lot of vegetarian food.
Mm-hmm.
That's about diet. Have a lot of fruits. Have a lot
Mm-hmm.
of vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A for affirmations, positive attitude, positive affirmations, which I told you. I'm healthy. I'm happy. Yeah. I. I is the inner awareness. So through your meditation, go inside, search
Mm-hmm.
yourself. That's I. L, lifestyle changes. So very
Mm-hmm.
simple thing. Follow the sun. Get up when sun rises. Eat when sun rises. Go to bed when sun goes to bed. Not practically, but follow the sun. So lifestyle changes. Simple. Have food on time. Yeah. If you have a habit of eating lunch at 12 o'clock, eat around 12, 12:15. But don't do like today 12 o'clock, tomorrow 2 o'clock, day after tomorrow 3 o'clock. That's bad. That agni that I said, Jataragni that I said, the digestive fire. There is a lot of digestive fire because it is at 12 o'clock. You will feel that hey, there is some warmness, some heat kind of thing in your tummy. The body is asking for food.
Mm-hmm.
Give it food, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
that's the lifestyle change about food and what you eat and when you sleep. A lot of people I meet now, I hear they sleep at 1 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. All these people have acidity.
Mm-hmm.
You're going, anti-nature. So acidity, and then acidity starts a lot of other diseases.
Absolutely.
They have skin problems, a lot of other problems. So, and the last one is why. DAILY. L is lifestyle change. Y is yoga. So, in yoga, whatever is possible to you, the physical practices, the mental practices, the breathing practices. So, that's the daily. So, you follow this daily routine and you will be healthy.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for throwing the complete insight on yoga and the importance of having it. And it was really pleasure having you with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sneha. Thank you, viewers. And thank you, TLR, now for giving me this opportunity. And I hope this will be useful to our viewers. Thank you.
Absolutely. So the audiences, daily is the key word that we're going to take from this session. Thank you so much for being with us for the last 1 hour, and shout out to all the audiences who have thrown up their questions in the comment section below. Stay tuned at what's happening at TLR now, because there are many more such sessions coming up. You can follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. In case your queries or questions have not been answered here, please feel free to write to us at reach, at tlrnow.com, and we'll be very happy to address all your queries and questions. Thank you so much. Take care and have a wonderful evening. Stay at home, be safe. This is Neha signing off, and I shall see you all very soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.